Hey everybody, welcome back to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. This is part 4 of our 4-part series of the Freqport's Freqtube analog saturator. This is our likes and dislikes portion of this video series. So if you have not seen parts 1 through 3, links will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for checking those out if you haven't done so already. If you want to pick up the Freqtube for yourself, the Sweetwater link is in that description box as well, and that is an affiliate link. Thank you so much. And again, full disclosure, if you didn't see parts 1 through 3, Freqport sent me the Freqtube for free so I can deliver this series of videos to you. However, I'm not keeping this. I'm not sending it back. We're actually going to give it away to a lucky winner of one of our mixing contests coming up in the next couple of months. You may have an opportunity, if you participate in the mixing contest, to win the Freqtube. How do you learn all about that? Well, you got to go to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. You have to get on Uncle Dave's email list. How do you do that? Simple. By downloading the free mixing course that is on my homepage. It's a $100 course. It's my gift to you. And when you're on my email list, not only do you get that free course, but anytime I put a course on sale, discounts, holiday discounts, all those things that are not made available to the general public, only the people on the Home Recording Made Easy VIP email list, and it doesn't cost you anything. That's when you're going to find out and where you're going to find out about the mixing contest, where not only can you win the Freqtube, but we have all other kinds of cool studio gear and plug-in bundles from the top manufacturers in the business. So make sure you check out HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and make sure you like, share, subscribe. Okay, so just like with all the DAW controllers, my last video of the series is always my likes and dislikes about it. So I could give you an honest assessment about what I like, what do I think needs to be improved, and then you can make an informed decision before you go out and spend your money. So let's talk about the things I like about the Freqtube. There's a lot of things I like about it, but there are 4 things that I think are just great. Number 1, it is built like a tank. The build construction, the fit and finish, the form factor is perfect. Aluminum knobs, feels really good. Great resolution on the LCD screen. It's just built really well. And it should be, by quite honest, because this thing is $1,000. Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. So for this money, it should be built well, and it is. It is. They did a great job on this. It's built well. I like that it's nice and small. It doesn't take up a lot of room on your desk. It's really easy. It's very intuitive. The second thing I like about it is, again, it's the main feature of this thing. You have tactile feel in controlling a digital plugin with your hands and not a mouse, which is great. And that's the way a lot of these companies are going today. And I think that is really, really cool. It feels really cool. It is super responsive. You can program all the controls pretty much to the main knobs, and it's really, really cool. So the tactile thing is really cool. If you haven't tried that, you should, because it's way better than using a mouse, in my opinion. The third thing I really like about it, it is super intuitive. And it is easy to program things. We did all that in part 1. Go back and watch it. And it works really well. And it's very flexible as far as the sound goes. You'll hear in the sound example, part 2 and part 3, even part 1, the first 3 videos where we did lots of listening to this thing, you could go from everything from super subtle to completely mangle the sound and everything in between, and it's all very usable, and it's very flexible. So you have a lot of tonal options and saturation options with this thing. The 2 different style tubes, which sound different to me entirely. The fact that you can go from subtle to really extreme and everything in between is great. A lot of times when you see even expensive saturation boxes, hardware boxes in the analog world that are, way more expensive than this, or even saturation plugins, a lot of times once you get past a certain stage, the stuff is almost unusable. It's almost way over the top, way so hyped, you can't use it in most cases. The Freqtube's not like that. It can be like that, but it's also got a lot of range and usability, which is great. And then the last thing I really like about it is just the fact that you only hook this thing up with 1 USB-C cable, which is brilliant. Normally when you want to hook up analog to a digital rig and work in a hybrid fashion, which is exactly what we're doing here, you have to run audio out of your audio interface with a pair of cables into a hardware unit, then take cables and go from the hardware unit back into your DAW. There's a lot more cabling involved. It's a lot more of a complicated setup. This couldn't be an easier setup. This is brilliant. Hats off to Freqport for coming up with this. It's an easy, simple way for anyone to add analog saturation without having to go out and spend any extra money beyond what you pay for this, because they even give you the USB-C cable. Right on. So those are the things I really like about it. It is a really good product. But like with every product, and the reason why you come to see Uncle Dave is I'm going to be straight with you and be honest. Whether it's a sponsored video or not, I'm going to tell you the things that I think could be improved with this, if there are anything. And there is a couple of things. Are any of these things showstoppers? No. Are any of these things I'm about to tell you are telling you do not go buy this product? Absolutely not. But if it was up to me and me only, this is some of the things that I would do to make this even a better value. The first thing that they have to fix, and I know it's coming in a firmware update, but to be completely honest with Freqports, should have been done at time of release, is the fact that there is no auto gain compensation, meaning when you turn up the drive and this thing gets considerably louder, you also then need to turn down the output because it doesn't do it automatically. I know that it's coming in a firmware update, but for the amount of money that this thing costs, that should have been done at release. That's just my opinion, being a little bit picky with Freqport. The guys over there are really cool. They said, speak your mind, don't hold back. Well, that's one of the things that need to be fixed, and it will be fixed. But I'm a little surprised and a little, should have been done at release. That simple feature should have been done at release because it's a software thing. When you're asking this much money for a product, that simple feature should have been there. Just my opinion. Second thing that I wish this thing had is, again, it's small. I love the LCD screen. You can read it. The print's a little small. I wish the screen was a little bit bigger, but more importantly, I wish this thing was easily angled up like this at a better viewing angle, because it's small. And for me, it's a little challenging to read. Yeah, and I'm an old guy with glasses, but you know what I mean. If you have bright lights in your studios, it makes it even harder to read this LCD screen. You got to almost work in the dark to be able to read it well. But it would have been nice if there was some feet that were adjustable on the bottom where you can change the angle of this. 99% of the products that are on the market don't offer that. You know, the only one that does, which I give them kudos, is the SSL controllers, where they have the feet that are adjustable at several different viewing angles. This, again, premium product, premium build quality. You're asking a premium price. That should have that, in my opinion. Now, can you just prop something underneath it? Of course you can. Is it a showstopper? Of course not. But that's just another little thing I think could be improved. Maybe in version 2, they'll include that. And the only other thing about this product that I don't like, and I've already kind of alluded to it a couple times, is the price. I think it's a lot of money for what it is. Now, it's, as I sit here today, it's $999, $1,000 US. I've been told there may be some discounting coming up soon where they may knock a few bucks off this thing. I don't know how much. You got to go check the website in Sweetwater for current pricing, depending on when you're watching this video. Here's the thing about price. Again, it's subjective. I may tell you $1,000 is too high for this product, and there's just as many people that are going to say you're absolutely crazy. What this thing does and the way it sounds, it's worth that money all day. And I couldn't argue with you with that. I would agree with you. There's other people that won't spend $150 on a plug-in, let alone $900 on an analog saturator, okay? So this product isn't for everybody because of the price. Does it sound great? It certainly does. Does it sound better than the digital plugins that we compared them to? In some cases, it absolutely does. Did I prefer the sound of this over the plugins that we had? In most cases, yes. But is it high priced? It is. Is there a ton of technology, a ton of R&D that goes into this? Absolutely. So some of you would say this is worth it all day long for what it is and what it does, and the simplicity of adding the analog to the digital audio workstation with the USB-C and all the things we talked about. It warrants that price. I can't argue with that. I went out and bought a console and about 20 pieces of analog hardware a few years ago. Thousands of people told me I was crazy and what a waste of money that was. That was the best money I ever spent in my studio. My console was 50 grand without the hardware. This is only $1,000. So it all depends on the person. Now, here's what I will say. I'm not just going to say I think it's high price and walk away. I do have a suggestion for the boys over at Freqport about maybe how can we get a Freqtube maybe at the $400 to $600 price point. If you were at $499 or $599, I think you'd sell a lot more of these things. Who knows? Maybe you're selling 1 billion of these things already. I don't know. I know it's super popular, but what if, suggestion, leave this in the product family. Here's the $999 product. What if we had a $699 or a $599 $4.99 would be perfect. What if we took the knobs away? What if we got rid of the LCD screen and we only controlled the plug-in, the box with the plug-in with your mouse? Or because if you have another MIDI controller in your studio, something similar to the SSL UC1 or another MIDI controller where you can map the plug-in of the Freqtube to that current controller that you may already have, then this becomes redundant and you don't need this. If we took away the knobs, took away the LCD, and still gave us all the great tube saturation, which is really what this product is all about, could we now make a product like a Freqtube Lite that was maybe $200 or $300 cheaper than this Freqtube? I think you got something, because now you have something for both parties. If this is a little out of the budget for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are going to say this is a little bit too out of their budget, but if it was $300 less, would they buy one? They probably would. Again, just a suggestion. What the hell do I know? From a build and from a business point of view, that may make no sense. But again, I'm here to give you my honest opinion and tell you what I think. Let me know in the comments below what you think about everything that I've said in this video, including the price and maybe some other feature requests or some other versions of this that might be able to make it more appealing to you as a consumer. Because I know Freqport welcomes that feedback. They told me that, and that's why I'm saying this, because I want to be honest and upfront with everybody. So those are the only things I dislike about it. I think it is a great product. I think it sounds really good. I love the fact that if you've never used any kind of analog gear before, the simplicity of this hookup is killer. And I love the build quality. And if it's in your budget and you can get by the slightly inflated price, and if you can afford it, I think you ought to check it out. And the link's in the description box below if you want. It's an affiliate link. Thank you so much. And if you don't buy it, if you think it's too much, let me know in the comments below as well. So that's it. So thank you so much, Freqport, for sending this to me. Make sure you go to Home Recording Made Easy and learn how you can win this Freqtube. Then you don't have to spend any money if you win the mixing contest. There you go. And until the next video where we're taking a look at some other plugins and great studio gear in the home studio environment, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.